Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
No! I said, are you ready?
You're listening to the Goof Norton Radio Show.
He's the best of the best of the best.
He has a wonderful voice.
If you don't like him,
You don't have a soul.
I'm sure your sister will.
Hey, babe, you want to go out?
Yes, we are back. How's it going, everybody? It is that time once again for the Goof Norton Radio Show. It's me, I'm here, my life. I've been sick. So, that's, I've been sick, I've moved. I did promise like an update podcast, so if you hear me sounding like I'm coming to tears or something, it's like this something like the words I'm saying are bringing me to tears. It's not that. I'm stifling coughs because I've just been coughing a lot because phlegm is fun to deal with. It's the spoiler alert, it's not. So I've been coughing very harshly and doing my best to not Discord just destroyed itself. Great. Oh, there we go. It's back up now. All right. But I've been busy just doing that, being sick. I have missed this show because this is just a time for me to sit and do nothing other than, interact with you guys. I guess indirectly, but talk with you guys and get the thoughts out there once again. I believe since the last time we did one of these, now I gotta pull up. Well, the last time I did like a recorded and uploaded episode of the podcast was 5 months ago because I had Cody on here from Alavaz Gaming. It was 5 months ago. So in between there and now, I've gotten married, I've moved, I've released an album and a single in the same month, which was last month, in June. So that has happened. That has happened. And I like the music is music. I've enjoyed it as always. I enjoy what I do when it comes to the music because it usually is pretty fun for me. Hang on, I gotta cough real quick. I will like usually say something because I'll go mute for like a minute, let all coughs get out. But it's been nice to be able to have something to release this year because I didn't think anything was coming, but we had some good inspiration and we went with a short and sweet album, 3 songs, and I found a buried song that I had in the archive for a while that came from my old computer, which no longer works, and I was like, okay, well, I guess we'll do something with it, and I did, and it's wonderful. It's actually one of my favorite songs that I've done. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. The other songs are good too, as well as the single. The fun thing about this is that the single that I put out was actually supposed to be part of the album, but silly me forgot what I named the single. And I literally scrolled right past it every time. I'm like, that's probably not the name of it. So yeah, I did the dumb, but that's okay because the album got released anyway. Oh, that's so ridiculous. It's such a ridiculous thing to happen, but that's okay. That's okay. What else has been happening since 5 months ago? Man, we've been here on YouTube. I've deleted Twitter recently because I can't stream on Twitter anymore. Um, and it's a lot of temptation um, on Twitter. It's not good for my mental health. So I just decided, let's get rid of it. Like it's over. Because yes, I when I first started doing content creation on YouTube, and I was like, man, and I got a Twitter account as well. I spent time building it up. I was like, it was worth something to me. But as I get older and I'm like moving on to different things, like it's not really worth as much to me anymore. Like it isn't. I don't care. Hang on one second. What am I feeling under here? Oh, that's a wire. Okay, we're not going to touch that. Sorry. I'll explain the details of what's happening here um in a minute. But I don't care who shows up and who doesn't. That's not really my responsibility, nor is it my care too much. Like I hope everybody's doing well. But one of the streamers that I used to watch, she took like a year and a half break. Now she didn't say it was a break at first, but she just said she was gonna be done with streaming for a while. And for a year and a half, I was like, well, she's gone. And then she came back this year, and I was like, yo, that's so cool. And speaking of that, sorry, gotta go off. There's another one. Hold on. Uh, oof, I think that one was a good one. I think that one cleared some stuff up. I might have just swallowed it back. Okay. All right. There we go. There it is. um, I do that to myself. It prolongs the sickness, and I hate it. So speaking of that, and she came back to Twitch, and I've been playing Elden Ring. She's been playing Elden Ring DLC. I don't do Elden Ring. Um, but yeah, it's like man. But speaking of that, we've gone so far. It's half a year, and we've spent it away from Twitch. I left Twitch because their last stunt that they pulled um, really irked me in such a way because of those who haven't been paying attention, people have been being outed as those who mess with our little ones, with our little ones. So we I can't I don't like that, right? So I left. I have been considering recently since I've deleted Twitter, right? We're off there. Um, I figured, hey, maybe this is a time for me to uh, make a return. And by the time this comes out, it'll either be very obvious or I won't happen. Um, I've been thinking about it because YouTube has recently changed its terms of service, and it's got nothing to do with me. I'll come out and say that first. They're changing their policies on how they handle guns, pew pews, and whatnot, pew pew sticks. And though I disagree with some of their policies on that stuff, um, it's another policy that I'm like, okay, well, shoot, this sucks for those who do that content, and they do it safely, and it's never in an aggressive negative manner. It's always a positive, um, and it's an educational experience. I'll tell you that much. You do learn something. Um, I I realized one thing, and I've realized this a long time ago too, when I was doing when I first started the podcast and whatnot. A cough incoming. Hang on. Mm. All right. Sorry. I realized that when I was doing the podcast, these platforms both, because I've done videos on criticizing YouTube openly, very openly with people, with just myself, um, and I have my frustrations, and those aren't really going to change unless the platforms change. At this point in my time, in my tenure, I guess, we've been on YouTube for 10 years, roughly 10, almost 10 years. This year will be 10 years in December. Um, I've discovered that it's important to, one, do what's best for me, right? What's going to provide me the best experience. Two, right? What is going to make it fun for the audience as well? Because if I want you to stick around and I want you to have fun when you're watching my content, I've also got to add some things. I also like to have, stuff there to make it interesting for those who don't necessarily like just sitting and watching. Because I can sit and watch a streamer and just be chill. But I do like to add some things to help, bring in some other people and whatnot. It's funny because I've gotten more follows on Twitch um, since I've been gone. Like, because I still, like I said, like I said when I left originally, I would still be around. Like, I'm still gonna be in people's streams and being like, "Hey, how you doing?" and gaming with people, and I've stuck true to that. I've stuck true to that. But I think maybe it's time we make a small return. For the time being, there's not much going on for me. I'm not doing a lot of work right now, so if I can stream, I might as well make the most of it, right? Because if it can be a blessing, which before I left, it most definitely was. There's times where people have come through, and I appreciate the heck out of them because there are still people out there that get joy and some sense of happiness when they see my live notifications. And give me a second. And it feels wrong to rob people of that experience. I really have to turn my fan. It's getting hot. I'm sorry, Chad. Hang on, give me a second. This is fun. Yeah, a round of applause for my freaking lack of planning. Coughing up a storm, and also my microphone's about to fall. I gotta push it back into the freaking desk. Oof. Um, but I've given serious thought to this. It's not just something I'm doing out of the blue. I've thought about it for a little bit. Ever since I've been thinking about it since May, June. Now we're in July when this is being recorded and posted. Man, I've had some time to sit. I've had some time to cool off, um, and it wasn't a rash decision to leave in the first place. I was well within my rights. I was well within my standards too, just to back off because I was like, dude, because because you we can't. Nobody can tell me that that wasn't really like a wild thing for Twitch to do. to allow anything really close to nudity, full nudity being allowed on their platform where kids are present, no matter what people say about the accounts and age restrictions. Um, I was a kid too. I know how that works. It's not a hard system to get past. Believe me. So we can't pretend like, ooh, well, no. Stop it. Stop pretending like kids don't get into mischief. The idea is to prevent that stuff and to protect their innocence because they deserve to keep it for as long as possible because the world can be cruel and hurtful. And we don't want to see them get hurt too early on. We don't want to see them get hurt at all. It happens, right? It's gonna happen. Somebody is gonna say something or they're gonna witness something around them and it's gonna be like, oh my gosh, what? So, um, hold on a sec. Sorry. The coughs are very much like rough, and I'm not okay with it. Sorry if you hear my chair creaking. I'm shifting around, trying to get comfortable. I'm okay. I promise. I'm okay. It just is just sucky to deal with the coughing all the time. It hasn't been going on for long, so um, me knowing my body, it just is getting rid of phlegm because that's annoying to have, and I don't like having to cough up phlegm as an adult. Like having to cough up and get rid of stuff. It's gross. It is. It's just gross. That's as much as I'll say about it because I don't want to gross people out. Incoming cough. All right. Mm, okay. That was a special one. Every time I do that, I take a deep breath to see where my lungs are because you can feel like the the bad stuff that's in your lungs because it feels like your lungs are restraining and you can't fully breathe in like normal. So there's still a little bit in there. It'll come up eventually. For now, I feel great, but in a minute, I'll be back to being like, I'm glad I got rid of that little bit right there. Yeah, I can already feel it coming back too. Mm-mm-mm. So I maybe that's what we're due for because I can't lie and say like, oh, I didn't have fun. It was fun. It was annoying with the ads and all that stuff. Because I always set like pre-roll ads because I don't want ads in the middle of my stuff. Excuse me, that was rude. I don't like. I really hate having ads in the middle of whatever I'm doing. Because if I'm in the middle of like a really important conversation, I'm like, well, um, and I'm not. There's no peer pressure in this or anything like that. There's no. There's no. I can't say there's a massive amount of regret. I'm like, this is the worst decision I ever made. Like, no, it was still a right decision. Um, I think sometimes I just miss the interactions that came from that specifically. Plus having the clipping system, it was nice to have. YouTube does not have that very they don't do it well. Like streaming on YouTube is fine in general, in general. If you are just like, hey, you're going live, you're playing a game, you're doing a podcast, whatever, it's fine. But there are a few things missing that they still haven't figured out yet, which is it's whatever. They'll figure it out in their own time, I hope. If not, I'll just be sad. So I've been playing a lot of. I've been more into like modding save files. That has been my thing. So on my 360, I'm currently playing Dark Souls 2. Scholar of the First Sin. I've been streaming that on YouTube. So those of you who are here and you don't pay attention to my streaming content, that's what's been going on. Basically, that's the only thing you've been missing, which is not much. I what was I gonna say? I got distracted because in my head, Tales of Arise popped up, and I realized 5 months ago I was playing it, and I still haven't finished the game because we got to the last portion, and it's like, oh no. So give me 1 second. I gotta reply this message. Yeah. But the game's long, man. The last section of the game is like 12 hours. Like, give me a break. I thought I could finish it, but I couldn't. I'm weak in that sense. Really weak. It just we'll get back to it. I like we Lords of the Fallen I've been playing. Oh yeah, since May, Xbox did a showcase and I watched it and it was good. It was much better than I thought it would. Starfield added mods and a bunch of other stuff happened. I'm excited to play some more stuff on Xbox with Game Pass. They really added some games that are gonna be making me not wanna go to work, not wanna leave my house or leave my office. Um, State of Decay 3 is coming. Sparking Zero is coming. Indiana Jones is getting a game that's coming. Something else was there. I can't remember what it was. But the change. This is a weird segue. It's not really like a regular one. I'm just jumping back, but I think the change might be necessary. And the other side of it is, I don't do this for money. I don't have any real affiliations to either of these platforms because neither of these platforms pay me. So, I can do what I want. I have no contracts with YouTube. I definitely don't have contracts with Twitch. But I look back and I see the smaller categories on Twitch, like Call of Duty Ghosts. And I'm like, I used to be on there streaming and enjoying being like one of the one of the top streamers in that category because it's just like everybody who streams in that category typically is 1 or 2 viewers, maybe 3, and I would come in with like five people watching, and I'm like, yeah, I'm the king, and that's so small and weird. It sounded like I had. It sounded like I had. Why am I so crisp right now? What the fuck happened? I took out. I took. Am I taken? Am I taken? Am I taken? Am I taken? Taken. We'll add in some. There we go. We'll add in some mid there. Ooh, that should be a little bit better. I'm sorry, but it was just a nice feeling, you know, and just be in a category on Twitch and be like, yeah, I was a top streamer. I'm a top ghost streamer on Twitch. Literally a person with like 4 viewers when everybody else has 3 or 2 or 1. It's like I'm that guy. I'm that guy. That was me. I'm Captain Popular here. I'm not. I'm not really. And like either way it goes, the viewership is not very high, so it doesn't matter that much. I guess to me it doesn't. but also it allows me to go back and be at least, be something that I wanted to be in the first place. I wanted to be a positive light in people's lives, and give them content to watch. They could just sit back and enjoy. And, if I want that, I got to spread that as far as it'll go. Um, and the other sites that are there to stream on. I'm not doing Facebook. I'm not doing Kick. That's not happening. That's just not happening. Facebook's definitely not happening because it's linked to my actual page, and I'm like, I don't need people start sending me more friend requests on my personal Facebook page because I don't care. I don't check Facebook that often either. I check it just frequently enough to either remove more friends, unfollow more pages, or whatever. So I'm usually checking to make sure I don't have any messages. Sometimes people do message me there because because that's the only form of contact they have. And some people have been like, "Man, you stopped streaming?" Like, no, I just moved to YouTube because YouTube is my home, and YouTube will always be my home because this is where I got my start. So there is no replacement for it, and I don't think I'd leave the site, unless obviously something really stupid happens and they kept it around. But Twitch did rescind that policy so fast because people were like, no, what are you doing? And I'm thankful to all the people who said something, because, and what upset me more about it was that somebody had to sit down and think about that. Somebody had to sit down and pitch that to their boss to be like, or to the team and be like, hey, guess what? What if we just let people do whatever they want, show themselves? I know there's a possibility of the kids being on the website, blah, 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 blah. And other people had to agree with that idea for it to be greenlit and them to go ahead and implement. People took time to make that happen. They took time to write it out and be prepare for it to be put into the terms of service, to their policies, the rules, and then put it out on Twitter. Like, that took time and effort, and that's why I'm more upset about it, in that regard. It's just like, what the fuck you get? Like, what? Stop thinking like that. That's weird and that's stupid, and I hate that. So, but I think that's gonna be it for this podcast. I'm not trying to draw it out. I really don't want to test my luck here. I've had to cough a lot at the beginning of this, and I'm like, but we'll keep it classic and keep it under 30 minutes. So I appreciate you guys so much for being here. Until next time. Ooh, it's so bright. Oh my gosh. I'm legally blind. I'm legally blind. Until next time, stay safe, stay hydrated, and as always, I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.
Million thoughts are spinning around in my head. My pulse